This is the home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Welcome to Join News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. Coming up tonight, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta giving a lifeline as Speaker decides to refer allegations against him in the minority censure motion for consideration and report.
The matter will be referred to an ad hoc committee to investigate, where the minister will have the ample opportunity to defend himself.
We have details of the spirited debate on the floor of Parliament.
To move the motion that this honorable House passes a vote of censure on the minister responsible for finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta.
These are very severe allegations that require more evidence.
I hold honorable member, you have to withdraw it and apologize.
Also, Ghana's cedi cumulatively depreciated by more than 54% since the beginning of this year. What will save the cedi? Can prayer do the trick?
I hold up the cedi with prayer, and I command the cedi to recover, and I declare the cedi will not fall. It will not fall. It will not fall any further. It goes out. I command the city to climb.
Our beating for speaking about Galamsey. We'll bring you the story of a young man who is now nursing wounds after being attacked for speaking to Joy News about the occurrence of illegal mining in homes at Odumase in the Ashanti region.
For I be interview me. My kind of question Galamsey. And I'm so magani ade. Ewuye. Eti Galamsey for amublo adiasa 30.
I was beaten because I granted an interview to Joy News.
Well, at 8, Beverly Broom will be coming our way with Prime Business.
Now, calls for the finance minister to be sacked may create uncertainties about the direction of our economy. We'll hear from the business community.
The moment, if you're an investor, you look at Ghana, and you ask yourself, the main policy direction which an implementation which sits with the Ministry of Finance, the head is being questioned. I mean, to not be good to invest your money in the country.
At 8:30, we have Prime Sport with Razak Musbao.
Well, Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf has revealed government will not sponsor fans to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
View of the current economic situation we have found ourselves, the government will not be using consolidated fund to fund anybody as a supporter to Qatar.
We're live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Stay with us for details. Now, in an anticlimax, the expectations of hope of many that the fate of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will be sealed today has been dashed after the Speaker of Parliament decided to refer allegations included in the censure motion to an ad hoc committee. The minority outlined 7 key issues as the anchor to force the hands of President Akufo-Addo to dismiss his cousin, the Finance Minister. The Speaker determined that the specific allegations against the minister will be referred to a committee of 8 persons who will report to the House. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante now reports.
There was an early morning news conference by the rebel NPP MPs, which served as a foreshadowing of what was to come.
Not only to state that we are back to the original position that we took, and that original position is to say that the Minister of Finance will not be the one who must read the budget and must not be the one who will do the appropriation. And we are going to be positively defiant on that posture until that action is taken. However, we are not going to support the cause of the NDC in the chamber this morning.
Shortly after this, the minority leader led his side, who chanted their way into the parliamentary chamber.
People of Ghana really want the Minister of Finance go. Unfortunately, they have decided to disappoint the people of Ghana And clearly, what they did last 2 weeks was nothing but politics.
Everybody said that the NPP has died in the market. You don't need to announce their demise. Yes. And it is clear, when the house has fallen, you ask whether the roof is still standing. It's clear, everything has collapsed.
On the floor, meanwhile, the minority leader moved the motion and canvassed his arguments in support of the censure of Ken Ofori-Atta.
To move the motion that this honorable house passes a vote of censure on the minister responsible for finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and I urge my colleagues opposite to support us.
There was a preliminary objection from the deputy majority leader.
Some of the statements captured in the motion paper include despicable conflict of interest in ensuring that he benefits from Ghana's economic woes. Mr. Speaker, these are very severe allegations that require more evidence than the pedestrian allegation.
It was during this period that the Speaker announced his decision to refer the issues to a committee.
The matter will be referred to an ad hoc committee to investigate, where the minister will have the ample opportunity to defend himself.
There was a back and forth between the minority chief whip Muntaka Mubarak and the visibly enraged Speaker of Parliament.
And therefore we have to vote on it.
Honorable,
Listen to him. Sit down and listen.
you are completely out of order. Remember, I don't take my rulings lightly. Please.
Parliament, it is this chamber with the 275 members. Mr. Speaker, when it refers to
Honorable member, please. The House cannot be constituted without a speaker.
I hold this
Honorable member, you have to withdraw it and apologize.
And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second the motion.
The 8-member committee will be co-chaired by Adansia Sokwa MP K.T. Hammond and Bolga East MP Dominic Ayine. The other members are Kwame Animedu Entry, Ejapa Mesa, and Patrick Yabuama from the majority side. Zaneto Ajaman Rollins, Okujeto Ablakwa, and Bernard Ahiafo are from the NDC minority side.
The fate of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta now rests with 8 members of parliament, 4 from the NDC side, 4 from the NPP side. It will be very interesting in the coming days, whatever report they present to the House and how this will be debated back in chamber, and ultimately the decision they will be taken. For Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, in July 1965, Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, introduced CD notes and Peswa coins to replace the Ghanaian pounds, shillings, and pence. However, weak economic fundamentals and mismanagement have depreciated the currency's value against other major trading currencies, such as the US dollar and the pound. Men of God have previously prayed for the cedi. Some politicians even claimed that dwarfs were depreciating the cedi. Large lectures were held to diagnose the cedi, but the cedi is still performing poorly. Features editor here at Joy News, Kojo, has been wondering, what haven't we done to the cedi?
According to Bloomberg, the cedi is the world's worst performing currency. The currency's performance against all trading currencies, particularly the US dollar, has caused widespread concern. But the problem did not begin now. I could go further, but let's stick to 2012. The then governor of the Bank of Ghana, Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, called on Ghanaians to stop undermining the cedi. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia disagreed and tweeted on 3rd May 2012, and I quote, "The government is blaming speculators for the fall in the cedi instead of tackling its depreciation." He tweeted again, "The free fall of the cedi, which was being witnessed, is a vote of no confidence in the management of the economy."
When in doubt, observe the exchange rate.
The cedi worsened in 2014 and many people were perplexed. The cedi was 3 cedis 20 pesos at the end of that year. The cedi lost cumulatively 31.3% against the dollar. Anita Disosu of the NDC even speculated that dwarfs were sitting on the cedi.
Etina mo time ne motia ne ayi.
Na sase wo mo anaya wo.
Omo go twetwe sidi no. Ene sa nye Dr. Baumia na he.
Dr. Baumia ka ho. So to mechi motia na be sidi de mechira.
When the cedi further depreciated, the General Overseer of the Action Chapel, Archbishop Duncan Williams, prayed for the cedi to rise.
I hold up the cedi with prayer, and I command the cedi to recover, and I declare the cedi will not fall. It will not fall. It will not fall any further. It goes out. I command the cedi to climb. Say, I command the resurrection of the cedi.
Dr. Baumia addressed a lecture.
This evidence shows is that the economic fundamentals have been weaker during the period of NDC government. And just small shocks, negative or positive, can destabilize the economy.
100 days after the MPP was sworn into power in 2017, he proudly announced that he had arrested the cedi.
The cedi has appreciated in value. When we came in, it was running. Essentially, we have arrested it. and the IGP has the keys. He's locked it up.
But it is clear that the cedi has broken jail and evaded rearrest. With the cedi further depreciating, President Akufo-Addo reiterates the late Kwesi Amissah-Arthur's view on talking down the cedi. He delivered his message in Akan, English and French.
Fellow Ghanaians, as the French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika mpe dede.
So what haven't we done to our cedi? We sacked the dwarf sitting on it, but it did not work. We prayed, but it is apparent that we have to do more than just pray. We have organized big lectures about the cedi, but it has not worked. The cedi has cumulatively lost more than 54% since the beginning of the year. Now let's pamper the cedi. All of you prophets and prophetess of doom, shh, let's be gentle with the cedi, and it may appreciate and maybe give the dollar a beating. But is there any lesson to be learned?
The lesson from history for governments is that you cannot manage the economy with propaganda.
Well, this shows our politicians should stop playing politics with the cedi and really work to stabilize it. Kojo Kobna, Joy News.
Now, a man in his 30s who spoke to Joy News about illegal mining in homes at Odumase in the Ashanti region has been attacked and subjected to severe beating by a section of the miners in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. Eric Obinga Chiampon, who sports multiple wounds on the back, chest, hands and face, says he was seized by over 30 of the illegal miners, kept and beaten for close to 4 hours. We'll hear his story shortly, but first, let's bring you back the report about how a mining pit dug under a house sank a toilet in Odumase, killing a young woman who was using the facility at the time of collapse.
The video shows final moments when an excavator dug out the remains of Gifty Manka, 26, who close friends say was pregnant. Her death tells a tragic tale of the dangerous impact of mining in residential facilities at Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. So imagine waking up in the morning and deciding to visit the nature's call. What is supposed to be a natural activity turns out to be your death. This is what happened here today at Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. The lady in question, a young woman who lives in this house, was attending to nature's call. The entire structure in which she was doing her business collapsed in a heap, went down into what is supposed to be a mining pit. Now, if you look around this area, there are lots of these pits within these houses at Odumase actively mining. And this is what caused the death of a lady here. Where I'm standing right now, just close to me, inside here, you could see another pit inside this house, and it goes deep down. And that is what the indigents here, this is how they do their illegal mining.
To the ordinary eye, this is a normal residential compound house. But inside it, we found deep pits laced with wooden steps that go several meters down. We were shown a number of such houses at Odumase. Residents are angry.
No one information. We frame say we fear when you see developing phobia day. At the toilet to was sinking. Omo this ka say kronankasa. Eti pani fuachi sasia and I adwuma no efiam metimi di mako house to house. Amu to be ana ye bi fia ba ko ne mensuro. Efie blono a wo so a wen kwa na anya skani. God wo ma sesa no wa ha no. A day around because 2030 you to go home because
police sources say they've heard of the pits and mining in residential facilities but cannot barge into private homes without a warrant.
Now, Eric spoke to Joe News about the digging of pit in homes at Odumase, which led to the sinking of a household toilet, which killed a young woman about a month ago. Listen to him share his ordeal about how he was beaten for close to 4 hours. He spoke to Erastus Asaridonko.
Drive for ne abe interview me makano kwese galamse ena nam so amagane yede ewuye eti galamse fo a mo blo adiasa tete minimbi edin ba minimbi din.
I was beaten because I granted an interview to Joy News about the lady who sank in a pit dug by illegal miners. About 30 illegal miners beat me. I can identify some. They caught me around 5 p.m. and released me at 9 p.m.
Small scale man and when I mentioned the MC name, like this issue need to know. And I'm a woman, son, I'm a woman. They say, my son, no, a mother gravity. They say, me no didn't come away, my son, Eddie, at Tikasa. But what the idea about how come and check?
I have cuts all over my body. My right ear cannot hear. I need protection because my life is at risk.
Police station, like I said, police aboame, Odumase police aboame, and so, sir, many baby palm hiding. Because I'm saying for the Chessica, a fast here, media minimum chairman, but almost Chessica, a fast here, and the case in the obey, and so say a babu, a thing, and Yabai.
Erastus joins us on Zoom with more on this development. Erastus, how is he faring now? Erastus, kindly unmute so we can hear what you're telling us.
So I must say he was still in pain the last time I spoke to him. I asked him to report to the Konongo police, which he did, and he was given a medical form according to him to report to the hospital. But then he was telling me that he doesn't have the security environment, the right security environment to even assess medical treatment, because the Galamseyers have threatened that if they set eyes on him again, they are going to finish him off. So I've been trying his line since yesterday. It's going through, but nobody is picking it up.
Oh. Can we say he's gone into hiding?
That is my...
Erastus, kindly unmute again so we can hear what you're telling us. So, Erastus, if you can hear me, has this young man gone into hiding?
Yes, that is my guess, because then he was telling me he needed to find a safe place to hide himself.
So Erastus, you've worked, on this story for quite some time. You know much about it. What is the current state of galamsey in that part of the Ashanti region?
Well, it will shock you to know, and to my surprise, nothing has been done about the report as you just saw it. The mining in homes, individual homes in Odumase, still continues unabated. I tried to speak with the head of MUSEC, the MC for the area. He has not responded to our calls. Nothing hasn't. And you see the impunity with which they searched for this young man to beat him up. And so nothing has changed since we last reported. The same mining in various homes is going on. And let me serve this warning that you could see visible cracks. Certain buildings, you could see them sinking into the ground. And it will not be long before we find.
Well, so that's my colleague Erastus Asare Donko there. Now, moving on to other stories now. And to education, our checks in some schools show pupils loitering in the absence of their teachers. These young ones are calling on their teachers to reconsider their decision and return to the classroom.
Students of Accra Newtown Experimental School wholeheartedly playing in the absence of their teachers. Academic activities have grounded to a halt as members of NAT, NAGRAT and concerned teachers since Monday, November 7, 2022, abandoned their post. In the absence of the teachers, the pupils spend their time loitering until it is time to close.
I saw you playing the ampe. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes.
Whose teacher didn't come to school? So what have you been doing?
We learned, but our teacher didn't come to school today.
So why did you come to school?
Yeah, our parents said that we should come to school. That time we didn't see any teachers in the school.
What's your name?
Kingsford.
So what have you been doing with your time whilst you are in school?
We didn't do anything in the morning.
So Monday you came to school?
Yes.
So Monday to Thursday, what have you been doing?
We didn't do anything.
So why do you continue to come to school?
I come to learn, but any teacher didn't come.
Mariam Amoa is a JHS1 pupil. She fears the strike, if protracted, will disrupt her education and her dream to become a renowned musician.
But it will affect my future. I want to become an actress, musician, comedian. I want to build an hotel, restaurant. And I want them to come back to teach us.
The pupils are appealing to their teachers to reconsider their stance and return to post.
Do you want the teachers to come back?
Yes.
So what would you tell your teachers at this moment in time?
We want them to come to school so that we learn hard.
Okay, what about you?
And me too.
What do you want?
I want them to come because I like to read.
Although the teachers are absent, some head teachers are at post holding the fort while the teachers negotiate for their demands. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Well, in the northeast region, pupils at Unyo in the Unyo Naswani district are appealing to President Akufo-Addo to intervene. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko reports.
It is day 4 of the ongoing nationwide strike by teachers at the pre-tertiary level. And here in the Unyo Naswani district in Ghana's far northeast, there is a complete shutdown of the basic education sector. The strike action is hitting hard as all classrooms remain closed and deserted. The education sector in this area is already in complete shambles, characterized by dangerous school buildings, limited classroom teachers, and the lack of teaching and learning materials, including furniture, which are hampering the provision of quality education. The strike action is therefore worsening the situation in this district as all academic activities are completely halted. School-going children here are confused by the situation. But in order to keep themselves busy, some still come around to their schools every day with the hope that somehow their teachers will return to the classrooms to teach them. Here at the Yunyo DA Primary School in the district capital, only a few children are seen loitering and playing hardly in the dusty school compound without the presence of their teachers. We don't have lessons. We play all day, she says, and play for the return of their teachers. Our teachers are on strike. We only play and go back home. We need the government to bring back our teachers. It is evident that these children here lack quality education, as none of them could speak basic English. Some of the children have, however, chosen not to waste their time coming to school every day only to meet empty classrooms without their teachers. Rather have decided to help their parents in their farms and other ventures. It's about 9 a.m. and usually these children who would have been in their classroom study are in the bushes here busily harvesting these touch grasses. Speaking with Joy News, the children plead with their teachers to return to the classroom.
So boki morma yin charma boki yanzana. Tiyama kamule ya ni ikatichi.
Our father sent us here to get the grasses to roof our rooms. I'm in class 3. We want the government to pay our masters their monies.
Okay.
B3.
Kaula ke ichangshako.
Trabora government you have to teach me. Kate lab sukuru.
The assemblyman for Yunyo electoral area, Abraham Mambelemba, is deeply concerned and appealed directly to the conscience of the striking teachers.
Classrooms are not in order, a lot of dilapidated structures. Children are already struggling to learn, and so if it stretches for long, then they shall be squeezing them within short period to cover the syllabus. Yes, governments will listen to their call. They should also have the children at heart.
From Yunyo, Elias Sutanku reporting for Joy News.
Now moving on to other stories. The managers of Esutufi North District Health Directorate in Ahafo region say mental health cases among the youth is on the increase. They are therefore calling on the district assembly to assist them with necessary drugs to treat patients. Speaking to Adum News on the matter, the district chief executive of Esutufi North, Anthony Mensah, revealed that their information indicates the youth who are involved in galamsey activities are taking illicit drugs, and that has led to the increase in cases. Joining us on Zoom now is Dr. E.A. Azuzong, who is a psychiatrist at the Accra Psychiatry Hospital. Doc, first of all, what is the situation like at your facility? Are you also recording increases in young people coming to your facility with mental health issues?
The use of, yes, we have been currently recording an increase in mental health cases among the youth, particularly the adolescents, people who are like 13 years and below.
Mm. Have we been able to identify what is causing this?
Yes, so there are a myriad of reasons why a lot of young people would come to the psychiatric hospital. And in our case, for instance, we do have a lot of them who are coming with issues with depression and anxiety. And then substance use among them is also on the rise. Mm. And the substances we notice they use mostly are cannabis. And then although you have a lot of them using cannabis, cannabis is considered the gateway to other substances. So a lot of people would start with cannabis and then move on to alcohol, to nicotine, and then to the very rare ones like cocaine and heroin. And then some also use amphetamine and hallucinogens as well.
Mm. How alarming is the increase?
Yeah, so if you ask how alarming is the increase, so according to, we do not have enough data in Ghana, but as at 2000, it was estimated that you have like about 5 out of 10 youths and adolescents who are who have mental health issues. And it's been shown that substance use is very, very common among them, especially those in the senior high schools. And but the worldwide data, according to WHO, says that 20% of adolescents have mental health issues, but then they do not categorically specify whether it is substance use or it is depression. But then 20% of adolescents would record mental health conditions.
Okay. Doc, kindly hold the line for me and let me bring in the DC for the Sutufi North District Assembly, Anthony Mensah, who joins us on phone. Thank you so much for joining us. How worrying is this situation in your district?
Cherished viewers. Yes, we had a report from the Health Directorate about the increasing rate of mental illness within the district. And the link, it has to do with the illegal activities of mining that is going around this area. And so what it means is that some of the youth, those that are interested in doing such acts, go about over there and then hide themselves over there and then use the opportunity to enter themselves, engage themselves into such acts. And so it is increasing a lot. And so what we have done as an assembly, especially DISEC, is that we try to fix out those people to be able to deal with them, and also those people that sell them to those boys. That is what my district police commander and then plus my good self and then the entire DISEC is trying to do to be able to bring it down.
Once you've been able to identify that it has to do with Galamsey, and Galamsey is something that we are trying to overcome, what specifically have you done in that regard as well? Ending the source where they are able to abuse substances.
Yes, what we are doing to bring that menace down is that we have taken a decision to call the chiefs and people of this community, especially the key stakeholders, and then we give to them the information that we have about what is happening at those areas. And then putting them together, all of us will come on board to be able to get them.
Well, Honorable, but if we're talking about Galamsey, these are legal sites, aren't they? Are they legally recognized sites that they are mining at?
They are not legally recognized. And DISEC has taken a decision to go and then drive all of them away and then get those perpetrators, those that are into selling those drugs to those boys.
Well, how long has this been happening, the mining activity that is getting them to abuse substances?
It is just recently that we had the data from the Health Directorate that this is linked to those people that are interested in doing illegal mining.
Okay. Now, the Health Directorate is asking for funding to deal with the issue. What is the plan of the Assembly in that regard?
Yes, the plan is that we trying very well. It's like something that we keep doing frequently, making sure that if there is something that comes out from the Health Directorate, the Assembly doesn't sit down, we just quickly go into it. So this one, it is not something that we are going to leave it. We are just going straight to it to deal with that, to be able to minimize the situation.
Okay. I'm grateful that you could join us. That's the DC for the Sutufi North District Assembly. Then now let me return to the Accra Psychiatry. And Doc, so with what you've told us, with what the DC of the Sutufi North has told us, how can that, or how does that reflect on the national incidents?
Yeah, so on the national scale, when psychiatrists meet, depending on the number of OPD cases and the various rehab centers we have across the country, it's also been shown and it's reflecting that there is quite an increase in especially drug use and substance abuse among the youth. And although we do not have data to show, there are quite a few cross-sectional studies that have been done across the countries. And like I said earlier, it's been shown that among senior high school students and university students, it is actually on the high.
All right. Doc, I'm grateful to you that you could join us. You're still watching the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us. So, an aspirant for the Deputy Communications Officer position of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Adongo Atule Jacob, says President Akufo-Addo and his government have run down the economy of Ghana and therefore need to lose the next elections. He believes the MPP cannot win the 2024 general elections, but the NDC must communicate better.
Our problem with the 2016 election was because when we lost the 2016 election, was because we campaigned on issues that were not localized. We were talking about building interchanges in Accra, building building hospitals in Accra, like the Rich Hospital. You know, talking of the market in Kejetia and all that. Those were not local issues. We need to equip our branch levels with the local issues. There are local issues that we have built. We've built, you know, roads. We've built hospitals. We've built schools. We've empowered people. When you are in a community like Natunia in the Upper East region, where I come from, you don't tell the people you build an interchange. It may even annoy them because that is not the local issue they want. Tell the people the local issue in Natunia. And that's what I bring on board. I bring on board strategies that will advertise the local issues. In fact, in our community, in our manifesto that we're going to launch somewhere before the elections, we will touch every community in this country with the local issue and bring them to limelight and tell them people when we come, what we'll do. When I am the Deputy National Communication Officer, I will give the communication team members these things so that we campaign. Because what we need is power. You don't go to Bolga and be telling them interchanges in Accra. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
According to him, his visual impairment, coupled with his strategic communication skills, will be an added advantage to the fortunes of the NDC in the 2024 general elections.
But also, people are saying that as a person with disability, visually impaired for that matter, they need that inclusion, because the NDC is a social democratic party. We are a party that talk of inclusion. So we have almost 10% of our voters being with disabilities. The NDC definitely needs those votes to win power. My inclusion in the National Executive Committee of the NDC will let all people with disabilities that are voters understand that they are part of the system and that they will vote to take themselves out of this current hunger. When I was coming from my office here, I rented a taxi for 50 Ghana cedis. The person told me that fuel, and that because I was a person with disability, they were going to charge me extra. That is unacceptable. That I can just take a taxi from rich here and I'm paying 50 Ghana cedis. It's unacceptable. We must communicate this to the good people of this country, that our country has been run to abyss, that the driver is super incompetent. And I believe that Adongo Atule Jacob has that capacity, has that competence. I'm not campaigning on the ticket of disability. I'm campaigning on my own competence, on merit. But I'm saying that being a person with disability is an additional advantage to the NDC.
Now, 61 candidates will be contesting various executive positions in the National Democratic Congress when the party goes to the polls in the Ashanti region. Incumbent Regional Chairman Augustus Nana Akwesi is keenly contested by 3 candidates, including former Chairman Yao Bimpe. The secretary position will have 4 fresh candidates as Kwame Zu decides not to contest again.
Clear scenes here at the regional office of the National Democratic Congress is an indication of how prepared the party is for their election come Sunday. As I am speaking to you right now, 63 people filed nomination to contest for various positions of the NDC, but now it is left with 61 aspirants ready to battle it out at the Babayara Sports Stadium. 4 fresh members of the party are contesting for the General Secretary position. Dr. Frank Amwakohene, Samuel Duku Safo, Matthew Kojo Njokone, and the former MCE of the Obuasi municipality, Richard Ofori Ajimanbodi, are in the race. Dr. Amwakohene believes he is ahead of his contenders.
And my first and foremost priority is to make sure that administratively I decentralize the region. I'm going to create 5 zones. The 5 zones those zones are going to help us us, one, train our constituency executives in terms of orientation, be able to effectively and efficiently distribute our electoral materials, and again help us collate our results effectively and efficiently in 2024. Because our election management system is a bit problematic. That is an area that I really want to work and change so far as the party is concerned. Again, as a party, we are suffering in opposition because the constituency level leaders who are supposed to take care of the branches are not empowered enough to do so. As regional secretary, I'm going to put up a business desk. I'm going to help them groom and then expose them to various opportunities that are available in the system, even in opposition. And again, it will help me know my constituency executives and what they are capable of in terms of their businesses. Now we know them politically. We should be able to know them in terms of their businesses and who will be fit to man which area when we come to power. Because in forming government in 2024, which I'm very confident that NDC is going to form the next government in 2024, we need the human resources, we need the manpower to be able to man the various areas so far as governance is concerned.
The Ashanti Regional Communications Director Abbas Nuruddin is being contested by his deputy Alex Asafo Ejeyi. The campaign between the two has been competitive. 3 people are competing: the incumbent chairman Augustus Nana Akwesi. The return of former chairman Yao Obimpe has muddied the waters for the incumbent, but some party folks are of the view that the incumbent is the obvious choice.
Mr. Ashanti Region delegates se omuntu abamma Nana Akwesi ono na wotima ewa ahomoboro ehwa won brase womu a womu pre a womu so womu pe chairman no party no ko opposition no menua yanhu womu wo party no biem omamba bo party no ba bia abusua me kacho ade kina ko Nana Akwesi fia ate se de edidwa masa Nana Akwesi ni nipa wo hu NDC fo mobo nti abusua mesre me kacha santema mu nyina se abano yento ma Nana Akwesi.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom.
You're so watching Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you latest from the showbiz. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. It's time to bring you showbiz, and Noella Karin Yale is here.
Hi, Kojo.
I'm good.
I like you. What's the color?
Charlie, men are color
blind, huh? Anyway,
Abla can help him from the back.
Okay.
Do you know?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. You should know.
I don't. All I know is that
that's okay. That's fine. So let's begin with Sarkodie. You remember last 2 years, which was an election year.
2020.
He released a very beautiful song called Happy Day. And it was a beautiful song for some until the latter part of the song where he released a controversial line, and that's why so.
No, even that, if you weren't critical,
you wouldn't have heard it.
Until the issue between him and Kwame Eugene, where Kwame Eugene said he never knew it was a campaign.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have.
Yeah. Very, and that I remember, I very much remember that particular story also gave people a lot of ammunition to believe that indeed it was a campaign song and that Sarkodie had been paid, blah, blah. Well, 2 years after today, on an Accra-based radio station, Plus FM to be precise, he was asked about that particular line, whether or not he still stands by the line. And you want to take a listen to this.
What I said he should trust, so I still stand by it because I think I benefited from free education directly, and I have the right to say I endorse that because this is directly. My mom has, I have these girls who have been supporting her. First, I'm not saying it's much, but just the fact that you're not even hearing that, getting that call, it came from that place where, and I was specific about what I was endorsing. Of course, I knew the line. Meaning said that's the creative part of me, and I need the whatever that comes with it. But that's what I stand by, and I still stand by it. But of course, the country is worse. We are in serious crisis. Go for bread,
bread.
You remember the line?
Yeah, I remember. That's what's okay.
And semen koda kusku. Okay, so it's like and kani edna so. Na men koda kusku free yeah. And Nana.
Kojo raise yo.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move away from that and talk about rapper 50 Cent. Because today, he made a very loud, or should I say, loud announcement on social media. He says that he plans to release a TV series based or inspired by notorious, social media influencer, now incarcerated fraudster, Hush Puppy. Now, for those of you who do not know Hush Puppy, once upon a time, he used to be a social media influencer. And you would normally see him, in designer clothing. Flashy cars. I mean, he lives in the Versace Palazzo apartment in Dubai. It's a high-end apartment, and he got arrested. He's now in jail for 11 years, and he got arrested while attempting to launder $300 million US.
So maybe we better describe him as a socialite.
Okay, a socialite. Well, cool. But he was an influencer. He was influencing for many brands on social media as well. But the news is 50 Cent intends to release a TV series called Green Light, inspired by his life. And under this post, I saw a lot of Nigerian actresses and actors, sort of campaigning or lobbying for a Nigerian actor to be casted, basically, to,
I'm sure that's already in plan.
Yeah, that's already in plan, I'm very sure. And that would be interesting to see. But last but certainly not least, let me share with you a very sad story that has to do with musician Davido. So he intended to, come up with a concert called the Away Concert this month in the US. But unfortunately, he has postponed that festival. If you could see the statement quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, Davido's thing was so sad.
Yeah,
that
very, very
for you
sad.
to be away and to come and meet.
Yeah, so that's the statement on screen. It says, we have made the difficult but necessary decision to postpone Away Festival until Saturday, November 18th, 2023. It is necessary for Davido to spend time with his family and loved ones at this time. To all tickets buyers, your tickets will be honored for the 2023 date, which is next year. Thank you for understanding, and we look forward to seeing you all in the near future. So we don't know the dates, the new dates yet. I guess we'll have to monitor.
November 18, 2023.
No, so that's a bit confusing because it says all tickets buyers, your tickets will be honored for the 2023 date. So maybe they probably made a mistake with that. But basically, we're expecting the Away Festival next year.
All right, then. I mean, our condolences to him.
Of course. It's a tough moment for him.
For losing that son. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's showbiz. And that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Beverly Broom is up next with Prime Business. Good evening.